stuff. We did in this room, I think this trim wood is sustainably harvested from Whatcom County.
From your own county, so it's
Yes,
local wood.
Local wood, and I know that it was a struggle, so I'm not sure, if it's like the baseboards we got, but not the furring strips, but there was...
Where you could.
What we did is challenge the process, and we wanted sustainably harvested wood.
Yeah.
We weren't able to afford a lot of it. There was not a lot of it out there on our time frame and budget, so it was a balance.
So you did what you could.
Exactly.
You did what you could.
Exactly.
So, just for a second, I want to just go to the community room because I got the community house because I got to know it. What kind of facilities do you have here? I mean, in your layout of this building that you share?
Well, you can see the kitchen,
right?
Yeah, and that's for community dinners. So that is a strong hub of our community is to have community meals. So we have homeowners come in and cook dinner, and we all sign up, and so we cook for 60 to 80 people at a time here in
So is that on a regular scheduled basis, or is that
No, this is Washington. This is Bellingham. It's whenever anybody feels like it. Many co-housings do have a very structured way, 2 times a week. We weren't able to do that. We got active people, so sometimes there's none, and sometimes there's 3 in a week, and sometimes there's 4 in a week. So it's whenever anyone gets a team together and has a menu and actually does it.
To do it. So we got the kitchen area. What else? And a big dining room area.
Dining room area. We have an office, so that electronic communication was an important feature for us. We wanted to make sure everyone had access to internet. So we've pulled our own cords and made sure everyone has the capability. In
your office room, a shared office
room
here?
Well, that's the office room is part of it.
Yeah,
we pulled, so we get our internet straight to the common house, and then it's shuffled off to each of the buildings, and then from the buildings to each of the units. And so even our 86-year-old has her own computer where she can get her email should she choose to. So we have, we want to make sure that was available. And part of that is that we have the office that has a PC and a Mac and a printer, so that anyone can go in and access that.
So that's shared?
That's a shared.
Nice.
Fax machine, photocopier, that kind of stuff. Great. We have, I don't have a TV or a VCR, but the common house has a TV and a VCR. We have 2 places that actually have that. So we have no cable. That's not been a strong value, but we do have video and TV for multiple uses. We have a laundry facility. Some homes have chosen to install laundry facilities in their own unit, but we have the strong shared vision is that you can do your laundry here. We wanted to support that as a community.
And of course, that means fewer appliances and so on. I mean, that's part of the value. That sharing has got to be a core thing.
So even folks who choose to put in washers and dryers in their own home don't get a cut on paying for the washers and dryers that are here in the common house because it's the shared vision.
There you go.
So that's built into the structure of our dues, as well as our utilities. We charge utilities by the square foot. So if you've got 4 people in a 780 square foot home, they pay half as much as 1 person in a 4-bedroom home.
Wow.
Because it's based on square footage, and the concept, that's our version of fair. There's definitely differences of opinion, and we may hear those this fall because I think it may come in front of the community that's not a fair way of doing it. But we'll entertain that.
Well, and you get to hash that out. I mean, you've decided this is a participatory process, so you all get to juggle with that.
We need to hear that and relook at, is this fair? Re-ask that question.
So you really have a dynamic social or governance process.
Yes.
I mean, as things evolve. I want to go back. There's another room that I saw, a lovely sort of sitting room or parlor kind of room.
Oh, yes, that's our north room. And it's a meeting room. It's part of the old house, so it's got that flavor. We've got a kids' room in there, too. And then upstairs we have guest rooms, we have a storage, and we have a craft room. So that's also part of our common shared facilities.
Different rooms.
Yes.
For this.
Yes.
So,
so that's in the common house.
Okay. Now, in the main houses, you probably use some of the same sustainable materials where you could.
Right.
For all the structures, and you had a contractor building all of those.
Right.
How do you go about? For example, do you have any community gardens or any of that kind of stuff? I saw play area for children.
Well, the other facility that we have is we have a community workshop So you
Oh.
see these tables in this room. Well, we designed them and built them on site.
Yourselves?
Yes.
I'm impressed.
Yes, it's in fact we have one of our members is a contractor, and so he has an office on site, and so he uses and it's a well run workshop. It's got all the standard tools, and you have to have a class to get in there. And
So did the community, did your community invest in those tools themselves?
the way everything worked, we got the structure, we got the box, and nothing inside of it. This common house had nothing inside of it when we started. We had no washers and dryers. We had nothing in the workshop. It all came because we all came from single-family homes. My washer and dryer went to the common house. Somebody else's tools went to the workshop.
I see.
So we all brought, we brought a freezer and it's upstairs. Somebody else's refrigerator came into the common house until we could buy a new one.
And so those were either loans or donations to the shared co-housing
Much of it
body. Wow.
donation.
How many children do you have? I'm just pop all over to
Yeah.
children do you have as part of this? And how many people?
Well, with 33 units, and we have about 51 adults. And the children, I think we have about 15. We do have shared families, so we have kids that are not full-time on site. So it's difficult to get. We have teenagers that leave, come back, leave, come back,
Yeah,
leave, come
yeah.
back. So it's hard to figure out whether they're part or not.
About, approximately.
15 to 20. We have a gaggle of girls between 8 and 12, and we have 4 toddlers between 3 and 5. I mean, 3 and 5
So you got
years.
the mixed age. You talked about
We
your
do.
86-year-old to your toddlers.
Exactly.
So part of the
We have a newborn, just born last month.
well, okay, all right.
Yeah.
So you really are talking about mixed age here.
That's our goal.
Aha.
It's our goal. We have lots of single older women. We are concerned that we're getting too old, that if we continue this way without getting younger people in, that we'll get too old.
To
we
do
won't.
all of the things that you can do or need
Well,
to do? Or just-
if we, like I'm moving in, I've moved in here and I'm going to die here. So what happens when I can't do all the work I can do now?
Yes.
And if I don't leave and let a young couple come in, then who's going to help me
Yeah.
run the community in 20 years, 10 years,
Right,
5
right,
years when
right.
I am not as able?
So you must have had to do, you must have talked a lot about what you value, what is important to you, because I could imagine weighing in lots of different ways. You could have decided, for example, that every single building material had to be,
Yes.
whatever, local or sustainable, which would be very challenging for you to do, or more expensive for you to do. So how much of the time did you spend, was that part of that first couple of years as you were working the site plan? Were you looking at what you decided for your community, what do I say, premises or values you were working with?
Well, it's interesting. We've had 3 sets of values since we started.
3?
Yes. And they've evolved as the people living here has evolved. And this site plan that we are with was really designed by the first 6 people. In 1998, there was 6 families that joined, and we had been working together for a couple of years on a much broader perspective, an eco-village.
Okay, so you were part of the 6 that joined in with the other 6.
Exactly.
Okay.
And we wanted to change the site plan to make it more, we wanted better use of resources in our
Okay.
building. We didn't want to waste it on an old building that we'd have to patch up.
Okay.
We wanted to bring a brand new, we wanted to reorient the buildings for sun so we could capitalize on the sun. We wanted to bring metal roofs and do rain catchment and
Yes.
gray water treatment, and we wanted to really pursue the photovoltaics. But we were with the 6 who had said, we value the site plan as we have it, we value the common house, reusing the common house is in our sense of how we want to be
Their version of
environmental.
sustainability
That's
and
exactly.
environmental. Yeah.
And so we had to blend our concepts and work within that structure. So that's obviously when we had a lot of change in
I
our
bet you
in our
did.
values.
I
But
bet you did.
we still have a strong value of living lightly on the earth. How we each perceive our own measure of that is different, and we struggle with that always as we
Because it's
evolve.
voluntary, in a sense. It's a value, but how you interpret that is going to vary a lot by...
And because of the consensus, we have to have 100% consensus before
Wow.
we go through. So when we began here, we had gravel parking lots.